Oh God. Oh no. Order, please. Let us resume proceeding. A nervous system modification basically gives you a bullet time superpower. That's nice. Bullet time. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I presume you heard the defense counsel's summy mummy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Governor. You have a Netflix account by any chance? No, I don't. Oh no, I gave him the Mickey voice. Haha, the door to darkness. I did, Gov, I did. Mr. and Mr. Skulking. I need to watch Arcane. Well, then watch it. Oh yeah. Gore! Blimey! This is going to be hard work. Early in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windy Banks. Okay. Well, it was a bedlam, soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out of my Lucy lockets. Well, I can watch it anytime with the power of the high seas. Yes. However, that was a lie. You brothers. On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. Oh yeah, we never done nothing of the sort. How do you figure that out? You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and this time you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. Oh yeah. See no more, Gov. We area. Well, Blab. Well, Squeak. Well, Peach. You forget that prison cells have windows? Not in this timeline. Oh yeah. Alright. We did knock a few things over, but we went rifling for nothing. Uh-huh. It was when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump, and all this stuff went fleeing. Oh yeah? Lummy didn't give me afraid. We was thinking the shooter come out the door and get those nicks. We stuck everything back where we found it and scarpered straight into in the black. Oh yeah, we couldn't have shot that pawnbroker, you see. We never had a chance, did we? That was so useless, what they just said. So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Windybank's countertop on the night in question. Oh yeah. Not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash, that's right. It's more like we tidied it up, yeah. Nobody liked that. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under the dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. What? Oh yeah, the way you say it, it hardly sounds like a rough at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. We can't make it sound a bit more cutthroat. It can't just be coincident that these men showed up at Windybank's that night. There's more to that testimony than meets the eye, I'm sure of it. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. Hold it! If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place? Oh yeah, well, yeah, no, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't, Nash, we ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good. Oh yeah. Well said, Ringo, me old China. We'd only land ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you have done. Landed yourselves in even more trouble. Well, thank you, Bob. Also, I need to take off the photosensitivity bot. Whoop. Whoop. Oh yeah. Oh well. That's rotten luck, says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses, explain your reactions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter? Oh yeah, we never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, right? More like we tidied the place up. If he could, he would go over there and kick them into each of their faces. Was Ringo the small one or the tall one? That's the small one. It was when we heard the gunshots, he made us both jump and all stuff went flying. Hold it! So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much, you knocked all those things off the counter. Oh yeah, well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep its shirt on. was loud, alright? Blimey, me dead granny would have woken up at their bang. Oh yeah? Big Bruv here screamed like a blooming baby and fell over the counter. He knocked over the loads of books, a candlestick and some school whatnot. That got tangled in some marionette. What knocked over the picture frame? What knocked them skis on the floor? You've really mastered working quietly then. What a racket! Me granny would have been scared back into a grave at a clatter like that. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. Oh yeah, and then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse and then all of a sudden, bang! Why are you reacting to that?
Excuse me.
Inspector Greggs, do you have something to add?
I like the game saying, I don't appreciate being lonely is dangerous.
I didn't understand the word. No, something to add about their testimony? You seem to react just now at what Mr. Skullking has said. Did it make you think of something?
Probably not for cash. I wouldn't even bother to mention it on you. Well, face it, curse is doing something all the ladies days.
How about you just tell us what's on your mind?
Yes, you know, we brought the face in on y'all for question last thing. And I was saying, again, the tones different I just said no.
Oh yeah? Did he?
You cleaned your head when you shake something out before you get shit.
My F-Cuff, my F does ring a bell, yeah, now that you mention it.
It's only mean there, but shit. Call him with the feeling perhaps be slumber this many half foul.
If I discovered the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Oh yeah, that's it. Yep, it's all coming back to me now.
Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds, sirs.
Oh, right, y'all, Gov. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Gimme that gun."
Hold it!
So in fact, you heard the voice of the gunshot almost simultaneously? We did, Gov, we did. Oh yeah? Although, I suppose, if we are being honest, we heard kind of a wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun. Bam! Kind of thing. Reenacting tragically missed. And where were the voices coming from, could you tell? Of course we could. From the other side or the door behind the counter it was.
from the storeroom where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windybank?
Oh, me granny's life, of course it was.
Oh yeah, on his granny's life, of course it was. So that would mean that you both knew Mr. Windybank and the sound of his voice. Eh? So that would mean what?
What, Nash? What? Any ideas? Yes, Counsel, indeed it would.
Oh yeah? No. We didn't know the geezer. I'm sorry.
I'm supposed to deny it when the bloke in all the fancy clothers giving us the evil eye.
If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true.
Oh, on me granny's life it is.
Oh yeah, on its granny's life it must be. It's a good job his granny's dead. Ouch. To summarize, then immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor.
You make it sound like we're clumsy.
Oh yeah. Don't forget, we tied it up after like good boys. Anyway, the way I see it. The bloke what owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl.
Hold it!
You're saying that Mr. Windybank had a gun in his hands. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bet that was a sight, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other must got pretty heated. So both of them had a gun. That's weird. I mean, just before he shouted out, we heard the geezer say, "If you don't wanna get shot."
Didn't really sound like he meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you could say.
Mr. Windybank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That someone being himself, of course.
Good grief! Extra common devotion, indeed, if alarmingly misguided.
Oh yeah? Well, it certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger on the other night. Only the person he was gonna shoot beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper.
Huh? Bet he wished he'd squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun."
And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot. Oh yeah, it was more or less the same time, Gov. Give me that gun.
Kind of thing.
Yes, a career in acting very tragically missed. Oh yeah, Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck. Before everything we went quiet, dead quiet.
After that, we done a slapdash job tidying up the place up.
Lummy.
What does lummy even mean?
Lummy, it didn't half give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter to come out the door and get us next.
Hold it!
So you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Oh yeah, not on your life.
It went deathly quiet after that, it did, but the wind right up me. But anyway, the door was locked, weren't it? No way that was opening.
Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside, or so we've been led to believe.
It was, Gov. It was, from the inside.
Oh yeah, right, so we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like through a keyhole or a spy hole perhaps? Don't ring no bells, don't ring no lights. What? Don't ring no bells.
Don't light no lights. We had to cut a run and run before we noticed anything like that.
Oh yeah, we're still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day we really cut the monster. I don't even understand what they are saying. Please cut it out. But as we know, behind the door was the victim's lifeless body with the accused not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. Gina was in there unconscious with the gun in her hand. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom?
That's right, Gov. That's right.
Oh yeah, could have even if we wanted to. We stuck everything back where we found it and scampered straight into him in the black.
Hold it!
Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Oh yeah, he was a bit hasty there.
We was, Nash. We was. Truth to be told, it was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up. He was.
If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand.
Good advice, miss. Good advice.
Oh yeah, truth to be told, me mind went totally blank. Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Oh yeah, mental note made, miss.
After we legged it down the street, but apparently we looked dodgy to the coppers or some mud, so they clapped their hobbies on us like winking.
And after you being handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct?
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah? But listen, that proves it, doesn't it, eh? We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker. See, we never had a chance, did we?
Hold it!
And why should we believe that? Oh yeah, what? Well, cause it's true, innit?
Haha, the place was totally empty when we went in.
At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun in his head. A gun in his head by the accused who had a gun to his head. That sounds more relatable, more like compatible with life. In other words, on the night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbroker, Mr. Windybank. Correct?
You've got it, mister.
Down to a T. So the skulking brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windybank? Is that really true? I wonder. That's it. That's the full extent of their testimony? What is it, Bruno? You look very fierce. I could pour you some of my herbal tea if you are tired. Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you will probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something important. It is nothing more than a feeling, though. I have no proof to support it. Well, feelings can be very logical at times. Sorry? People's expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take all that in and your brain will quietly analyze it to come up with a feeling like you described. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about his testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts. Iris, thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. True. Alright, we did knock over a few things, but we nothing about. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. What did they search? There's the broken lamp, which makes sense. If they threw it over, it broke. Makes sense. But what were they looking for? That's the question. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun." Something of value, yeah. The bloke who had owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the gun. See, I don't understand why this part exists here. Because he says the bloke And the bloke is Mr. Windybank. Was holding a gun. See, they said they didn't see Mr. Windybank or knew him. Why is he then saying he literally saw that he was doing this? Yeah. But I don't know what I could specifically throw at them for this.
Hold it!
You're saying that Mr. Windybank had a gun in his hands. Oh yeah. It was a sight. No, we have seen this before. It was a sight. Two of them waving guns at each other. Must gotten pretty heated. So, what he agrees here is saying there were two guns in that room. Gina had one, which is the gun from Mr. Windybank's counter. But that means that Mr. Windybank, if this is true of course, had also a spare gun on his body. But we didn't find two guns, we found one. Shout it out, I don't want to get shot. Didn't really sound like he meant it, mind more of an empty threat, you could say. That sounded like ready to pull the trigger the other night. It did pretty well. Okay, the words that you heard the gunshot. More or less the same time. Lummy, it didn't half give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter would come out the door and get us next. Stuck everything back where we found it and stared it straight into. Sorry. Have shot the pawnbroker. See, we never even had the chance, did we? The full extent. Well, it usually goes into the direction that I have to trigger a reaction, which we had actually, but it didn't really lead to anything. So I'm just pressing again. If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place? Okay, we had this before. We never ransacked nothing.
Hold it!
Hmm. Okay. We cannot prove that they knew Windy Bank. Hmm.
Hold it!
Yeah. I think that Mr. Windybank had a gun in his hands. Why the two of them waving guns at each other? I mean, just before shout out, we heard it. If you don't want to get shot, didn't really sound like he meant it, mind, more of an empty threat. Yeah, we know. Hmm.
Hold it!
They didn't open it. But we have nothing that kind of shows or proves that there was a spy. There's a possibility that there is maybe a spy hole here. You know, there are frames and pictures on this wall. But What should that even... Wait. Oh my god. Is that the solution? Is the solution that there is a spy hole here? And the short guy actually put his gun through that or into that spy hole and shot Mr. Windybank? Is that why there is an angle from below upwards? Wait a second. There are clocks on the walls. Look at that. Wait, there's one, there's two. One, two. I see two. Ah, no, that is also there. Okay, that's not a difference. You also would notice it from going back and forth. To understand what I meant, like here, there's a box, another box, another box, and my assumption was like the other picture didn't have those. And that's why they put it there, so the short guy could stand here, look through a spy hole, which is like behind a clock or something like that, and shoot through that. But that's not the case. The case is still true that the lamp is broken, which is correct. We also know that these objects moved a little bit to the right, because when you look at these pictures while you do this, you can see how this moves slightly to the right side. And you see how the lamp here is normal and here broken. But nothing else actually changes here. That's the weird part. You have to pop 2 prints in there to start with, you see. And then you look through the eyepiece and you can see things in 3 dimensions. The important thing is to get right in the position of the 2 prints. I don't know who came up with the idea of stereoscope, but it's really quite fascinating. Yes. Here's my question. Why can't I open this? I mean, I can. Oh, look at that. It totally changed shape, like just from this little button press. Well, that's what the button's for, Bruno. You're just like Hurley. Your boys love pressing buttons, don't you? Especially if you don't know what they do. Us boys, says the 10-year-old girl. Anyway, you can now see that it really is a stereoscope, can't you? Yes. Can we put photos here? Yes, I know. Why do we have this in our possession if we can't do anything with it? I don't get it. nothing. Stop it. Where we found it, yeah, it's right in the black.
Hold it!
One gun at Charles. Yeah, it's a bit hasty there. Was, truth to be told, I was already shaking like a leaf. Couldn't have shot the pawnbroker. We never had the chance, did we? You would? If there's a spy hole, like I said, you could point your gun through the spy hole and shoot.
Hold it!
It would be still a very lucky shot. But should we believe that? It's true, believe me, bro. The place was totally empty when we went in. The store or the storeroom? That time. Used gun to his head. Let's try to question these two because it's never even laid eyes. Now they deny that they saw him. Never actually encountered him. Is that really true? I wonder. I have no idea what to do. I have no idea what to do. It's like only the last testimony is basically like them telling me they have never encountered or seen Windy Bank. Yet they tell me all the time like, oh, we've seen him in the storeroom waving a gun at Gina and Gina is waving a gun at him. Yet we have only one gun from the storeroom, which was apparently locked from the inside. So where's the missing gun? You have seen Mr. Windybank, you pretend that you didn't see him, but you also say you've seen him? I really don't understand what I'm supposed to do here. I really don't. Like, huh? So we have this. You know, I want to actually put this these two photos on the stereoscope thing, but I can't, which is dumb. So this is this. All the informations and the stamp, which is okay. This is the curious one. Like, here we have this. Why didn't we put powder on this? It was ketchup, this stain, like we suspected. That's right, Early's wonderful concoction soon proved that. I don't suppose Gina could have been wearing leather gloves that night, could she? Ah, okay, no, we have established what that was. Yeah, right, that is right. The thing is, we have these blood samples, so we know that this is from thrice-fired Mason, which makes sense. That is the thing they took from him, so they could go to the pawn shop to get it. Then we have blue collar, which is Mr. Windybank's ketchup, and then we have this, which we don't know who it belongs to, but it should actually be Sherlock Holmes. Then we have the manuscript. Then we have this, which is not really going to help us in this case. Then we have this newspaper. This is not going to help us. We have the autopsy report. Single bullet wound in upper half of victim's back. No other visible signs of trauma. You know what surprises me? The door to the storeroom, as far as I remember, but I could be wrong, had a small cutout to look inside the storeroom, if I remember correctly. So, what is holding back these brothers opening that and shooting Windybank from behind? Instant death from plasma to the heart. The bullet entered the body from the back on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. Which is weird because it means it was fired from below. And we have this, which only proves exactly that. But the fact that we see this here means that the weapon must have been like literally put against his back when it was fired, because this is powder, gunpowder here. So he couldn't have been shot from a distance. It also makes no sense. Why would Gina shoot him and then fall unconscious next to him? That makes also no sense. Then we have the normal. And then we have that one. So we clearly see in this picture that she took his revolver from this. We don't clearly see the entire door here, and I don't clearly remember if there was like an opening for looking through it. there's the stereoscope and we're back in the beginning. I have no clue what to do. Like, absolutely nothing. I also don't get any reactions anymore from Greg's. So the game basically wants me now to notice something that I can present that speaks against what they are saying. We did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. What does that mean? I mean, I understand what he's saying. He says like, but they weren't rummaging for nothing through the desk. So they were clearly looking for something. But what? What? Let me... I mean, this will most likely take away point from my points. So, but we weren't rifling for nothing. Let's do a percent and say a redemption ticket. Owned by the victim as well. Morning paper, government secrets. Pawnbrokery. Mr. Windybank. Signs of a single discharge. Firearm found in the possession of the stalking brothers upon their arrest. There are signs of a single round was fired. Photo taken automatically, red-handed recorder showing the scene shot before the murder, after the murder. So, I will present this, but I feel it's completely wrong.
Objection.
That reveals a demanding inconsistency, that last statement. Since he's doing this, it's probably wrong.
Damning, you say? As I look at you, Counsel, I see your trembling hand, your pallid expression, and your perspiring brow. Huh? Seems to me that is the damning inconsistency, blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's quite obvious, isn't it? Okay, so just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Gimme that gun." I see no evidence that we have that says anything against that, nor can we prove that it is correct or wrong. The bloke who owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. And so they can keep lying and until the end, and we can't do anything about it. Yeah, it's weird because like they say like we haven't seen Windybank, and then they say I have seen Windybank with the gun, and I'm like, huh? And I'm not sure if we have an actual like flap that we can open to the storeroom to see inside? They also say the store was empty when they entered. Yeah, I also think so. Lummy didn't have give me a fright. We was thinking of should come out of the door and get us next. Stuck everything back, we found it, and scarpered straight into the back. You see, we can't even present the other photo after Gina because I mean, I can try. It's like, there's nothing wrong in trying. But the thing is, like, all we see is, like, that some stuff moved slightly. But nothing is missing. And the light is broken because he said it fell down. And I actually remember seeing the shards on the floor. But let's see. There's a... It's wrong. Something else. Okay. Yeah. So it's also not that. Stuck back at the first random. No. Couldn't have shot the pawnbroker. See, we never even had the chance, did we? Did they? No. I really don't see anything I can present to unveil an inconsistency. A great age attorney. Chronicles. Case 5. Windy banks, brokery. Investigation. Yeah. Trial. Here we are. We already did that, right? There's Ringo. We did that. Okay. I think this. Was it here? No. It must start here. First thing to do is statement 2. Pursue Greg's, which we did, which he tells they said something else. Then present a scene photograph, statement 3. Crime scene photograph. So this?
Objection!
How? How do you make that connection? That's weird. So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windybank, was wielding a gun, is that correct? Oh yeah, that's it, Gov. You've got the picture. Haha, he and Nash, he asked, no question. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windybank was not holding a firearm of any description. You know, at this point I would have presented more likely the photo of Gina with one gun. But okay. Eh? You what? Oh yeah, Gordon Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection!
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. It would remind the court that Mr. Windybank's gun was found at the scene. Hi, Bob. Not only it was identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. Oh yeah, that Mole Tooler used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Kind of thing.
Hold it!
Stay exactly where you are, right there. If the crime had taken place as you've so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out.
Goodness, are you sure, Counsel?
You intrigue me, my learned friend, but let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where's the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moment? That is gonna be, this.
Take that!
According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of "Gimme that gun" followed by a gunshot.
Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe.
Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. So as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulking. not. Oh yeah, but it's the God's honest truth.
It is, Nash, it is. When he was shot beneath.
Oh yeah, the shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own bleeding ears. Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Windybank holding a gun? Oh yeah, somewhat like that might have slipped out. Ladies and gentlemen, you all have just heard the admission by these two witnesses. That on the night in question, they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the skulking brothers must have encountered the victim in person.
Nash, yeah, well, order. Witnesses, explain yourself at once.
Oh yeah, well, the thing is, we're supposed to, It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you.
Am I to understand that you replace the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies?
Oh yeah, I was so sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, we,
Cut it out, Nash, cut it out. We blab now, you know what it would do to us.
Who are they talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you.
Oh yeah, bruv. Come on, game's up. But we all have our guts for garters.
In case it hasn't been sunk in yet. No matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. Squeeze.
On the night in question, it is now apparent that your brothers have met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place.
Also, hi, Bob. Sorry, Bob.
Well? Do we have to?
On pain of death. I suggest you make yourself fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth.
Alright, so we just got inside the GAAC and Eve aside all relief when the geezer showed his mug.
I think they already have their last chance. Last chance already passed. Oh yeah, give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it.
Oh, for an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chopped me over the counter.
Isn't Van Six pretty lenient today? Van Six should burn them in an omnibus.
Oh yeah,
I pulled my gun and him and on him and then elect it through that door into the back room. So in other words, wait, now nothing makes sense anymore because literally what they are telling me is they went into the store with a gun out, walked to Windy Bank behind the counter, who then told them to give, who told these two to give him the gun. And then he ran into the storeroom. Wait, now it makes more sense. They wanted to rob him. And he tried to tell them to give him the gun. And then he ran. And the next thing I can imagine is that the small guy actually shot Windy Bank from the back and he fell into the storeroom. Now the question is still, like, why was it locked from the inside? The only thing I can imagine is, like, that Gina came in and threatened Windy Bank to open the storeroom. He let Gina in and locked her in the storeroom. It's an assumption. So he locked her into the storeroom and wanted to call the police when these two guys came into the store, trying to rob him. He told them to give him the gun, which they didn't do. And then he ran for the storeroom himself. And now I'm making more assumption. Because of the panic and that he ran into the storeroom, he opened the door, but in a flash, and Gina was standing there and got knocked out by the door. But Windy Bank as well got shot from behind and fell inside the storeroom. That is one solution, because it would explain why Gina was knocked out on the floor with the gun in hand. The other part is that he fled to the storeroom, got shot, fell into the storeroom, Gina saw it, and locked the door behind him. That would explain the locked door. But that wouldn't explain why Gina was knocked out on the floor. That makes no sense. But I think it's pretty clear that this guy shot Windy Bank.
We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's what happened, I swear.
So you're now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in their storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop.
Oh yeah.
Well, yes, sorry.
Well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably.
Oh yeah, but honest, Governor, this time...
This time, Nash, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide.
They were lying from the start. Gina seems very fond of being stuck in small places, apparently.
Very well. Counsel of the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, milord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. I can binge watch my favorite series. Alright, so we just got inside Gav and Eve. Me? The side of the leaves when the geezer showed his mug. Alright, so we just got inside Gav and weaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. So they were happy to see him. Wait. Did I press this?
Hold it!
When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and proprietor of the shop, Mr. Windybank. Seriously, doubt him even now. Yeah.
Well, sorry, I mean, that's right.
Oh yeah, we was keeping a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. But we never thought no one was gonna come out of the back room like that. The back room being the pawnbroker's storeroom.
Yeah, that must be where he popped up from. Only place he could have been.
So it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises. Which means Jenny must have been in there at that point as well. But that doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Windybank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint, then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? Oh, I don't know. Did you see the accused at the time?
What? The mole Tula? Couldn't tell ya.
Oh yeah, no way, the copper. We had bigger fish to fry then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it.
Hold it!
You mentioned that Mr. Windybank shouted those words in your previous testimony too. However, you claimed that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door. Oh yeah. Did we? But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't it? Oh yeah, well, yeah. Was the victim Mr. Windybank wielding a gun at the time?
Was he ever? Blimey lummy, a great ugly barrel he had pointed straight at me frontispiece.
So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Windybank with the gun at that time, is that right?
It is, Gov, it is, spot on.
Oh yeah, then all of a sudden he came at us, he did.
It was bedlam. I didn't know who was going for who.
Clearly all going for each other.
Like Nash said, we thought we'd had it. I mean,
When old Geezer the bloke was strong as an ox, he chucked me over the counter. Yes, I noted that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too.
Well, yeah, of course we did.
Oh yeah? He knocked over loads of a book, a candlestick, and some school whatnot.
I got tangled in some marionette. What knocked over a picture frame? What knocked them scares on the floor?
So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter? Oh yeah, well, Big Bruv here went flying over the counter like a gunshot, I can tell you. Then the old geezer pinned him.
He did, Nash, he did. If you hadn't been there, Luke would have flattened me like a blooming pancake in seconds.
At the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via a secret cable from the pawnbrokery. There is a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim. That's right, when the brothers fled the scene back onto the street, they ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they? Oh, Mr. Windybank, he did everything he could to protect the shop. His shop. I pulled me gun on him, and then he legged it through that door into the back room. Wait, go back. I wasn't done with this.
Hold it!
Were you intending to shoot Mr. Windybank? Oh yeah. No, never. I was just, looking out for me, bruv, weren't I? He was being flattened.
He was being flattened, don't forget.
By a man whose shop was being burgled, yes. And then the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed your gun at him, is that it? Oh yeah, that's it. He shoved me away, then ran off through that door and shot himself in. Something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true. Also, don't forget. See this? How he's lying like this? Running from here. And she's here. It makes no sense. She's standing here, but he was shot and fell over there. Like, I wonder why Mr. Windybank ran away into the storeroom. What? Well, according to what everyone's saying, Jeannie was in there waiting for him with a gun. Ah, yes, that's right. Gina allegedly used Mr. Windybank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Windybank's hands again? I have no idea, but that is strange, isn't it? This is a little inconsistency. This little inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it. Oh yeah, look at the point. It's me and me bruv.
That's right, Nash, that's right. Me and me, bruv.
There's nothing. I never had nothing to do with killing him. That's what happened, I swear.
Hold it!
You said you had nothing to do with it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nothing at all.
Nothing, Garvin. Nothing, Garv, nothing. The old geezer went and shut himself in the back room, didn't he?
Oh yeah. Looked up. It was from the inside.
I know it was, because we tried to open it.
Oh yeah. But it's a decent door, that one. Good and strong. Wouldn't budge an inch. I don't trust them, bro. You shouldn't. So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim, the accused Miss Gina Lestre.
It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, counsel?
Don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could possibly have shot Mr. Winterbank? Yes. Mr. and Mr. Skulking. What?
What's that look for?
From the moment you admitted that you'd encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely.
Oh, yeah? Yeah?
What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is, who could have shot Mr. Windybank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer to it at all. You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be?
Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect of two conundrums.
Two, me lord? Twice as many chances to be right, maybe.
Indeed, namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim, and furthermore, where was the victim at the time?
Understood, me lord. Are you alright, Bruno? I'm not entirely sure, but there's one thing I'm sure about. I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened. It would change Gina's prospects hugely. So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answers to the questions posed by his lordship. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where that person could have fired the gun. See, they said he came out the storeroom. Then he said, give me that gun. Then like a possessed guy ran at them, which can only happen here. But the small one said like, oh, he threw me over the desk. Like, did he throw him over there or there? That is the question. Possibly someone else have killed the victim. Indicate from where person could have fired the gun. See, my problem is I'm not sure did Mr. Windybank throw the small guy like here, here, or here? That is my question. So they said he came actually out of here. They came in from here. Then he said gun, ran at them. Which is strange because that would indicate that they basically came in here and not here. So let's assume they came in here. He's like, oh no, and then ran at them, like he said. But that would indicate that he took the small guy and threw him in this direction. And then he ran around the counter back into the storeroom, which would indicate that, like, the guy would be here. But he could also be here, or here, or here. It's most likely not here, because only the lamp got broken, and that can happen when something goes on here and it rattles the desk. So it must be either here or here. So I can miss this. But logically, like purely logical, like if he was here and he shot him, it would have been a weird angle. So I think it's like here.
Take that!
The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. And in an answer to the second question, assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at that time? Basically here. I mean...
Take that!
Defense believes the victim would have been in this objection. Why are we also doing an investigator's job? Because what your answers in fact show is that your own position is as absurd as those you have indicated on the plan. What are you saying? What Lord 1-6 is saying, Counsel, is that your answers are clearly flawed. Knew it. There's twice as many chances to be wrong. So the questions are, from where did the culprit shoot the victim and where was the victim at the time? Well, I don't see why we can't show that someone other than Ginny. What? I don't see why we can't show that someone other than Ginny could have done it in the storeroom, do you? Yes, that's right. I'm looking at it. I suppose someone other than Gina. What's the best move here? Should I try again or gather more information first? Give it a try. I am. You know, I don't know how exactly the game wants me, how precise the game wants me to be. I'm just irritated by the fact that he said, like, he threw me over the desk. Which would indicate that he was here. Yes. This is basically reenacting CSI.
Take that! Take that!
There we go. The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. Continue. Mr. Windybank died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death. Which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired?
So you are adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom?
Well, according to the Skulking brothers' earlier testimony, I pulled my gun on him and then he legged it through the door into the back room. If Mr. Windybank ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at that time.
Oh,
It was at precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom. Arga. Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial? Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner, his report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Old man shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Ah, of course. He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered his body on an upward trajectory. So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Windybank.
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claimed the victim was shot as he fled into the room. Do you also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock? But what if someone else locked the door? Yes, there's someone else who could have locked the storeroom door. Is that so?
very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shot and locked the storeroom door from the inside.
Are these people like really not even using a brain cell at all?
Take that!
Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at that time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That's absurd. You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room? For what possible reason? All these people don't use their brain. Such action only served to tighten the noose around her neck. No. She closed the doors. She locked the doors so the people couldn't pursue him anymore, as she probably assumed that he already did hit the police button. And the other thing is what you say, Coffee. She feared for her life.
I am inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel, we are all ready to receive another brain cell.
Yes, that's a tricky one, that isn't it? What are you talking about?
Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please.
But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? It does? Well, if I was Ginny in that situation... What is this? This entire courtroom is actually like a school for AI. That's what it feels like. Like AI goes like, I don't understand human emotions, so therefore, why would they do that? That's so illogical. I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they? Feel like AI would evolve backwards if how it is learning. Yes. Ah yes. Obviously. How could I forget? Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Windybank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at that time, but at some point, Mr. Windybank must have heard intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom.
Intruders, huh? That's us, bruv.
If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom. He's basically always saying the truth. Yes, it would. Then probably only moments later the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Windybank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment? Step up, be a strong girl, and run at the burglars. Oh yeah, I see where you're going with this. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Windybank. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
Oh yeah, but it ain't, I mean, we ain't the ones who done it.
We ain't, Doc. We ain't. You've got to believe us. I mean, come on. We'd never shoot no one.
Objection!
That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would. Because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mr. Skull King, your brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Windybank's murder. What? Wow. Where does this leave us? You mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all? Should have known there's the three brothers, they look shady as fuck. That was amazing, Una. All the members of the jury seem to firmly be on your side now. I know, first time ever, and probably the last. Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll have to give a verdict of not... An admirable effort, my learned friend. What's this now? Is nothing? You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Six? I myself find the defense's argument most persuasive. I dare say, such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. But such blandly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. Whatever pettifoggery is. What? The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly, credibly cannot and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw. A fatal flaw? Yes, it's a fighting game called Fatal Fury. I mean, do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing? Hey, say, Lord Van Six, I might be an idea to explain this poorly conjuring trick, or whatever it is, to the troops on the ground, huh? Hi there, Abitsum. How's it going? The fatal flaw is in my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. Yes, that is a problem. The problem is that in Mr. Windybank's gun is one shot. And then there's another one-shot fired gun from these guys. So yes, they could have shot him. But here's the question. How did they shoot Mr. Sholmes? Because they didn't have another bullet in the gun. Because if you look at this, there are signs that a single round was fired. Single discharge. See, that's the problem. But no, that doesn't work. You know, this still leaves us to the same problem, right? Why was Gina unconscious? What knocked her out when she was locked in with Windybank? Something must have knocked her out. Point one. Point two, she had the gun. and the gun was fired. Point 2. Like, this gun fired once. And if they fired this gun at Mr. Windybank, then they would have no shot left to fire at Mr. Sholmes. So yes, that is a problem, and he has absolutely a point here. That's the biggest problem here. Even if we make the assumption that Sherlock Sholmes showed up before the two brothers and Mr. Windybank shot Sholmes by accident and had the empty gun in hand. They said he had no gun, like they didn't mention that he had a gun in his hand, point 1. Point 2, even let's assume he had the gun, no bullet anymore inside, attacked them, threw him over the desk, then ran into the storeroom. He pulls his gun, this one, out, shoots him. He falls into the storeroom, dies. Gina locks it. Then there's an additional problem. This works to explain how did Mr. Sholmes get shot and how did Windybank get shot, but it doesn't explain why would Gina take the gun from Windybank and be unconscious afterwards. Like, that makes no sense. And that's the weird part. So he has absolutely a point here. By George, count bullets? Oh dear. He noticed then. Huh? What's everyone talking about? Counsel. Counsel. Yes, sir. Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime. Two bullets. Correct. The first was that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, on his arrival at the scene.
Indeed. The defenses presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings.
True.
The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar.
Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Windybank, and the skulking brother's revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun.
Yes, indeed, it does. A single bullet from each.
Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Sherlock Sholmes right before your eyes.
Yes, I did. Oh my goodness, I think you will find
that if the single bullet was fired from the brother's gun hit Mr. Sholmes, it means Mr. Windybank not shot by same gun. Stop. Only 1 bullet. Stop. Exactly. Yes, this Nipponese street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing to scrutiny. Orc. War. I will be honest, if court cases were that amusing, I would probably watch them. Order, order, order. Stop throwing alcohol around. Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hallowed nectar into the public gallery. Dude, as far as I understand, you're drinking quite expensive wine and you keep throwing it into the lamps. You throw it into the public. Lord von Siegs. But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Don't worry, we have centuries worth of alcohol in his pocket. Yeah. Despite her younger years, she can regrettably no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct. The truth, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent. As we can see beyond doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with a murder weapon. Maybe. As you clearly can see, she is pointing the gun at Mr. Windybank. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present. The disc. Whatever makes you. No, you don't. Don't give it to him. It's mine. And it's mine. Wobble wobble. Yes, that music box disc. McGilded's music box disc. The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Windybank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her, and with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence. Good gracious! Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed, no crime she would not commit. The court forgets that fact at its peril. I see. I think it would be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence, counsel. I zoned out. How are you two doing? I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking.
Hold it!
Inspector Greggs, what? Yes, Inspector. I see. I was agree that ich would be using. What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? It's the first time he's said anything to Van Zix at all. I am unaware of any such meeting. But there's ways in instruction right from the shop. Government people is where it is. Inspector, I am the prosecutor and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord.
Indeed, but bailiff.
Okay. Metal disc used to play music in a mechanical music box. On the reverse side is a note that reads, for McGilder. The prosecution has established that the accused's motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. Baseness. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decision and rest my case. Great, now they're all going to guilty again. I don't believe it. I have the jury on my side for once, for all 5 minutes. Oh dear, it wasn't even for 5 minutes, Rolo. Me lord. I wonder if I might say something at this point.
Proceed, Mr. Foreman.
Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, if truth to be told, but all of a sudden. The answer's barely obvious to me and me, man. There's only one thing for it. Oh no.
Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
And this guy. Like a fucking terrorist. That is an actual tourist in the UK, in the jury, which makes no sense.
We have a consensus among the jury, it seems.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. That is my line. I wrote that for Hurley. How dare he use it against us? Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we have finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windybank. That's beyond any doubt.
Very well. We will proceed with the second summy mummy of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready?
Your adept squadron is primed and ready for action, sir.
Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain what grounds you have to determine the defendant to be guilty.
Yes, I can't wait for all those wonderful reasons. Reasons. Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say. Different breed to us law-abiding citizens. That's his ground to call her guilty. Keep that in mind.
As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, it would say the whole case is done and dusted. Huh? You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was pickpocket. It was that pickpocket.
That is no reasoning.
I never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief.
That is his reason. I still wonder why she was there. She was there because she wanted to read or see if the manuscript was in Windybank's storeroom. Either to check if it was there, or she wanted to take a peek inside of it. That was the reason. We know that. Look at this reasoning. So, I thought of something else, so therefore she must be guilty. It's like, that's his reasoning. The accused attempted a theft on previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead. How is this a reasoning? Oh no. I will be busy today. Guess she's guilty. I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns. That is my reasoning. I know about guns. Therefore, she is guilty. Nothing of that makes sense. I felt a little bit different this morning when I took a pee on my toilet. Therefore, she must have done it.
It would seem there's little remaining room for doubt.
I have to admit it was rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black. But when that fell apart like a house of cards, I saw that I jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more. The whole courtroom is turning against me. It's not fair. Iris? That prosecutor's being mean. My wife left me. She's fucking guilty. The webcomic I read this morning made me feel feelings. Therefore, this innocent person must be guilty. Just because Jeannie's done some things she shouldn't have done in the past, that doesn't make her a murderer. Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Fair enough, off with her head. Yes, kind of like that. That's actually a very good comparison. It's like the queen. She's basically like, I'm offended by this situation. Off with someone's head. Here's to the truth coming out eventually.
That's enough. Preamble. Counsel proceed with the summy mummy.
Yes, my lord. All of this is bullshit. All of this is bullshit. I hate it. Everything. Why is this game? Who wrote this game? Who do I need to find in Japan? And break their legs with a wooden spoon. Unbelievable. Next time we shall find out.